When I was a property developer, once upon a time, I used to have this huge ego about being a property developer, but I never used to tell anyone I owned a cleaning company because who would want to own a cleaning company, right? It's not very sexy, but telling people I was a property developer was way sexier.
The best advice I can give to someone is don't overthink it. Come in and get started and you can learn the rest. The key is if you don't start it now, you actually never will. Stop trying to perfect something.
I have more freedom than I've ever had. I'm making $80 an hour and now I'm not reliant on anyone else and I'm actually making money. Like where there's a will, there's a way. And she's like, I get paid over 7 figures a year now to just clean because she's cleaning up hoarders and she does it on TikTok. Don't knock the cleaners. There is so much shit you can do.
There are so many ways of making money.
I love that and stuff. That's why we don't do domestic cleaning. Hello, everyone. Jodie is in a food coma.
I am, and my zipper keeps coming undone.
Oh my goodness gracious! Is that why you called this the dirty scrubbers? You just like to unzip your clothes. This is not the scene, darling. This is not it. How have you been?
I've been great. How have you been? How's the world of cleaning?
The world of cleaning is rocking it. I always say to people judge me, actually, this is a good story. When I was a property developer, once upon a time, I used to have this huge ego about being a property developer, but I never used to tell anyone I owned a cleaning company because who would want to own a cleaning company, right? It's not very sexy, but telling people I was a property developer was way sexier. And then my bank account was fucked because I had no cash flow, right? Being a property developer is, people love it, but the bank account, doesn't really do well. You only get big chunks of money every so often.
And it's funny how I'd imagine people perceive owning a cleaning company and not making much money and it being, and from what you've told me, I'm completely astounded. So first of all, let's go over if someone wanted to start a cleaning company to make big margins, what would you suggest would be the steps that they follow?
So firstly, as I've mentioned before, there's 64,000 cleaning companies or cleaning businesses, let's call them, because they're not all structured as companies in Australia. Yeah, probably. Let's be real. And, you can choose domestic cleaning, you can choose NDIS cleaning, you can choose commercial cleaning. There's so many avenues. And the great thing about cleaning is you don't need much money to start. You literally need a lot of energy, a bit of go about yourself, and a vacuum cleaner. You don't have to buy the top notch just to get you started.
Anyone can own a cleaning company.
And that's why there's so many cleaners out there, and that's why the competition is rife.
And it's just like, any business. And so obviously me being the business weapon, I come in and help new startups and entrepreneurs. The best advice I can give to someone is don't overthink it. Come in and get started and you can learn the rest.
And also, when you first start, I recommend getting on the tools first. Get on the tools, do the cleaning, you'll understand, and then it becomes so much easier. Don't look at me and think you can become what I'm doing in cleaning. Like I was on the tools for many, many years with my parents as a 10-year-old, let's be real, probably even younger, slave labor. And then you get to learn, and then now I have, over 150 staff, and
amazing.
I am at the top of the food chain, you could call it, but it's still I still have to make sure that everyone gets fed and cash flow for any business, including cleaning.
Sorry to interrupt, because this just has me excited for all our listeners who are wondering what direction to go in life. And obviously, because there's no qualifications specifically needed here, everything is a lesson, and you could take your cleaning business to the next level. It's just very exciting. And so what would the process be, as I say, that you only need a few tools?
Yeah.
What would the next steps be for anyone wanting to go into business in cleaning?
Yeah, so a lot of people are focusing on, say, Airbnb cleaning or NDIS cleaning. NDIS is a little bit harder because you got to go through all of the rigmarole of getting accredited by NDIS. So I would recommend people either start domestically, put a Facebook ad up, start to tell your friends, and then word of mouth is actually the biggest thing that happens in this industry.
Absolutely.
and just start cleaning, and you will start to see what you want to specialize in. Some people only do carpet cleaning. Some people do full house cleans. Some people do bond cleaning. Some people only do window cleaning. Like, there is so many niches within cleaning.
The key really is, as in any business, you know, a lot of people out there, I know have been trying to start their own business for years. They're overthinking things.
Totally.
The key is, if you don't start it now, you actually never will. Stop trying to perfect something. Just get in the door, start it, and you can fine tune everything as you go along. Now, another question that I actually have is, I know you're not an average cleaning business, okay? Far from, definitely. Not an average. Anyway, but let's just talk about what the average cleaning business could earn.
Yeah, this is really actually, and you know, we grow by acquisition. So we don't have a sales team other than myself. We don't have a sales team. It's a decision that I made very early on. So we actually grow by acquisition. So I buy other commercial cleaning businesses, which means I see a lot of P&Ls to answer this question. So I would say the majority of commercial cleaning businesses, I'm not talking domestic, probably similarly, but I can't talk to it as well as commercial. Most mum and dad run commercial cleaning businesses are turning over. Remember, turning over is your income and is not what you get to the bottom before your expenses. So typically turning over anywhere between $300,000 to $600,000 a year.
Wow.
Right? Now, most of them, I would say 1 to 2 of the owners are on the tools, and they would be taking home anywhere between $100,000 to $130,000 each.
Wow. I can hear, well, not hear, but I can envisage a lot of our listeners hearing that figure now and thinking, wait, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You know, this is for a cleaning business.
Yeah.
You don't need any qualifications. This is really easy to get started. Why am I not doing that? Are you
Good
offering
question.
any mentorship maybe to these people that want to get started?
Oh my God, I just closed down my coaching business like a year ago.
I thought I'd throw that in.
Maybe you can, babe.
Sure.
Look,
Actually, there we go. I have a business weapon. Come to me.
Look, at the end of the day, Jody and I will answer questions. We're here for our people. We're here for our listeners. Honestly, like Jody said, I just want to reiterate, just start. Like, I have people, for those who don't know, I have a social media profile, and I have people in my DMs that are women that have been following me for years, and they're like, thank you for talking about cleaning. I'm a single mum. I started cleaning Airbnbs. I have more freedom than I've ever had. I'm making $80 an hour, and now I'm not reliant on anyone else, and I'm actually making money. Like, where there's a will, there's a way, and honestly, cleaning has this bad connotation. As I said, I was the idiot that was like, my ego was like, I can't tell anyone I'm in cleaning. I'm a property developer. And it's like, but I also have a cleaning business. Whereas now people are like, what do you do? I'm like, I have a commercial cleaning fucking business. And I'm so proud of having it. I have more cash flow than I've ever had in my life because you have regular clients. Like property development, I never knew when I was going to get paid. The builder could run behind. We could have had a leak. We could have had an issue with a stormwater. We could have had the council holding stuff up for approvals. And then you go and sell and the market's tanked. Yep. And I always said, as a property developer, if you are breaking even, you are fucking winning.
Amazing.
which is not good. So cleaning is a cash flow business.
And so just to help our audience and people that are listening who are thinking, yes, I can do this. What suggestions would you give to them to get your first set of clients? How would you go about that?
So what I would do, as I mentioned, like word of mouth firstly. I would start domestic, definitely. Commercial is a little bit different. Start with domestic, start with Airbnb. Go to real estate agents, okay? So this is your hot tip. Go to real estate agents, do some little business cards or some flyers and say to them, we will do bond cleans.
Yeah.
Now, when you get in with local real estate agents, you can do bond cleaning. Now, let me tell you, bond cleaning is fucked. But you can get a ton of work. You have to manage your cash flow because typically you won't get paid until the bond's been paid back. So there is a delay in cash flow, but that's how you make your connections first and you can get a lot of business. That's what I recommend.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
Don't know what to ask next. Sorry.
That's okay. Let me dive into a really cool story actually. So obviously we're not a business podcast. Jody and I love business. I have my other podcast for that, so plug. But
what's the name of that one, Coralie?
It's called Keep the Change. I haven't posted in 2 years, but it is coming back online. I have a funny story that I wanted to share, and I've kind of been holding on to this one because it's a goodie. Now, if you've been listening and tuned in, you know that we share stories of the last 40 years that my family and I want to share with you guys. Just to open the lid on like what it's really like to be a cleaner, because we don't just talk about it enough. Now, this story, one of our customers, one of our long-term customers called my dad one day and said, I have a homeowner. Now, remember, we don't do domestic, but he's like, I need you to do me a favor. I've got this homeowner in a low socioeconomic area in Brisbane. I won't say the name because people in Brisbane will be like, oh, of course this happens in this suburb. This was like 15 years ago, granted. And Dad said, no worries, I'll do you a favor. Rocked up. And this gentleman said, how much do you charge? Dad's like, well, I don't know. Like, I don't even know what you want me to do.
That's a very open-ended question.
Yeah, he's like, what do you want me to do? Like, can I go inside the house and have a look? And he's like, oh, all right. So Dad walks in. There are walls, like holes in the walls everywhere. Like, it was just disgusting. And not hoarders, but like close. It was just a mess. Someone had dumped stuff everywhere and just left.
Yeah.
Dad walks through the lounge room and the guy says, can you clean this rug for me? So not like nothing else.
Yeah.
Dad looks down at the rug.
What has happened on that rug?
And there was, and not just the rug, the floor too and the carpet. There was literally blood. Like it looked like a murder scene.
Was it Jeffrey Dahmer's house?
I don't even know who that is. Am I showing my age? Dad looked at the guy and was like, I'm not sure what happened here, but like, have you got a police report? Has this been reported? And he's like, oh, no. Like,
so
this
you could be involved in covering up a murder, basically.
Exactly. Yeah. And so Dad's like, what the hell? Like, what happened? He's like, don't worry about it, but how much will you charge me? Dad's like, so do you want me to clean the rest of the house? He's like, no, just the blood. And so Dad's like, so you haven't called the police? And he's like, no. He's like, well, what happened? He's like, don't worry about it. And Dad's like, well, I'm not going to worry about it and I'm not cleaning this. Like, and he just walked out.
Right.
So who knows if someone cleaned.
Did we ever get to the bottom of?
No, Dad was like, I said to Dad, you should have reported it. But he was a bit scared because he's like, he's got my number plate.
Yeah.
He knows where we live. He has our head office.
Wow.
Like, who knows who this guy's involved with? If then the police get a hold of it and they come the same day, Dad's like, it's
crazy.
Clearly me. So he was a bit scared.
So you're
He's like,
really risking your lives going into
this. And we haven't had too many of those. We've had a few, but it happens and people try their luck. So if you are starting your own cleaning business, tip, if someone asks you to clean up blood, don't fucking do it.
And if you are listening and you were the owner of that rug, we would love to know what exactly fucking happened.
What happened? I'm sure it was interesting because that suburb, shit goes down. To the point, just to add to the story, when I was, how old would I have been? Maybe 15. I used to work for McDonald's back in the day. And I probably lived like half an hour from that suburb, but the owner of the Macca's that I worked for also owned a McDonald's in this suburb. Why don't we play a guessing game? And if you are in Brisbane, guess the suburb. Anyway, he didn't have enough workers because it was such a dangerous suburb. And so he called my parents and said, I'd really like Coraline to do extra hours tonight. And I loved the money. So I was like, give me the money. And I was like, yes, I'll do it. He's like, I have to check with your parents. I got police escorted to this Macca's to do, I think it was like an extra 4 or 5 hours after my shift. Yeah. And there was security guards because it was a night shift. It was 24 hours. And there was police and security guards and we were not allowed to leave. So if you can guess the area in Brisbane. What
had gone down?
Well, nothing. I'm just saying like that suburb is so full of crime that even when I was 15.
So guess the suburb.
Guess the suburb. Actually, I'm not 30, so it'd be a long time ago. 20 years ago. Not 15 years. Maybe even longer. Anyway, guess the suburb in Brisbane. Which suburb do you think this was in? I don't know if I'll reveal it, but funny story. It was the same suburb where I worked in McDonald's.
I don't know the answer. I'm English.
No. We're in Sydney at the moment. These guys have no clue. I don't have a clue where we are in Sydney, so it works well. Jodie, I know you've had big party days.
Why do you say that?
We've talked about it in the other episodes. Did you ever have things with blood involved?
I probably
where
have,
someone got bashed and you asked someone?
Bashed? What kind of parties do you think I'm going
Well, I don't know.
Jesus Christ.
It's the UK. Anything could happen.
Oh, I've partied in Australia too. Vegas. But no,
Anything
getting
crazy
bashed.
went down with like blood. And I'm not talking like women and blood.
You know
more
what?
like
There probably is, but I'm not about to say that on air. But if there was an episode like that, I don't think I would get the cleaner to clean that up.
what would you have done?
Oh, fuck.
Putting you on the
It depends
spot.
how the blood got there and what I'd done to the
So
person.
if you had a bloody rug, see, I would have just chucked it in the bin. Why would you get someone to clean it?
Because that's evidence. It depends how the blood got there.
Oh, so if you need someone to help, I think Jodie's your person.
I do everything, crime. But yeah, no, I wouldn't feel bad about getting a cleaner to.
No.
Okay, well, here's a funny story. So I
knew she had one.
No, but I do have my carpet cleaner on speed dial because every weekend I spill red wine or I have, not big parties, but I do have quite a few guests at my house. And my cleaner's on speed dial, so every week I got to do fresh carpet.
Oh my goodness, you're a good client.
I am a good client, I know.
If only I lived in Sydney.
But he's great. He does it for $50. I've got him on speed dial every week.
I'm sure he loves to pay you a visit.
Hey, me again. I fucked up. I've got red wine everywhere, but no blood.
No blood. Okay.
No.
Okay. Anyone else have any blood stories that they want to share with us? I'm sure that people have them, They're, speaking of businesses and cleaning, what we were talking about before, I'm looking we are developing a death cleaning business line as part of our cleaning business. And one thing that's very popular that a lot of people don't want to do, and actually, oh my God, I have to look for it and I'll tag it in the notes below. There's this chick on TikTok who has made millions of dollars during COVID. She started doing cleaning and now she specializes in hoarders. And she's blown up on TikTok. So not only is she getting endorsements, but she's also cleaning up hoarders. And she's like, I get paid over 7 figures a year now to just clean, because she's cleaning up hoarders and she does it on TikTok. Don't knock the cleaners.
I love it. I can't talk about it, but I actually do have a client that's just started up her similar business called Shift Your Storage in Sydney. And she's actually going around and saying,
I saw that.
Yes, that's actually my client, Prue.
Plug.
So shout out to Prue. She actually goes around. A lot of people are just paying for storage fees. It gives you anxiety knowing that, you've got everything in storage. You could be sitting on a gold mine, but we've teamed up with lots of charities around Sydney.
Mate.
She goes in. All you need to do is give it a yes. She'll give you an inventory. People will realise that they've got stuff in there that they want to keep, and the rest donate to charity. Bang.
And so does she do it for a fee?
She does it for a fee, yeah.
Now, anyone who's going to complain about not making money, I'm sorry, there is so much shit you can do.
There are so many ways of making money.
I love
there.
that.
I know.
I was just talking to my mother-in-law because I've been paying for a storage of hers for the last 2 years, and I'm like, love, this storage has got to go. It's cost me more than what's inside.
And if you haven't touched it for frigging months, you don't know what the fuck's in it. You don't need it. Get rid of that crap.
Totally. But also, can I just say, side note, because my business brain can't help it, since I was 19 years old, I've wanted to own a storage facility.
Wow, and why is that, Coraline?
Real estate and cash flow, because people forget about it, and it's on direct debit.
There
And
you
it's
go.
like ding, 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 ding.
Love it.
Yeah. Anyway, one day, watch this space. I'm tackling death cleaning and funeral homes at the moment, so we'll see. On that note, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
We can't wait to have you back and to share some more dirty scrubber stories.
Making me laugh.
Up next,
Now,
on
anyone
Dirty
who's going to
Scrubbers.
complain about not making money, I'm sorry, there is so much shit you can do.
There are so many ways of making money.
And I didn't tell the one about mum getting lost in the bin. I'm going to do that one now. She literally got in the bin. Her legs are hanging out, and the building manager, the construction manager, comes out.
You okay, dear?
Yeah, and he's like, my mum has this, mum, this is not to laugh at you, but she's like, yes, she has this French accent and she speaks like this. And they're like, the guy's like, are you okay in there?
Seats are probably cleaner
Than our phones these days.
I mean, you go to all these touchscreen places like Macca's and stuff, and even when you go down the escalators now, imagine how many feral people have touched those bannisters.